Alright, YouTube, I'm going to actually show you today how to make a functioning suppressor for a airsoft pistol. This can be adapted for use on an airsoft rifle. In this case, I will be using a Crossman Air Mag C11 airsoft pistol, just because it's what I have handy. It's got one of the fat orange tips on it, so this can be adapted for a smaller threaded orange tip if you want to. Most people just take the plugs off, and if you're lucky enough, if you can take the plug off your airsoft gun, which I am unable to do, you can actually put this into the suppressor. That way you just put it on the gun as a plug. But I will be showing you how to make this, have a suppressor, and it'll work for any gas blowback or non-gas blowback, CO2, green gas powered airsoft pistol. Tools needed for this project will be drill bits and a drill or drill press, scissors, a small screwdriver, knife, a round file, sandpaper, a rubber mallet or a hammer. I prefer a rubber mallet because we're working with plastic, a small blowtorch or regular size because this one can be adjusted down so it's just a flame instead of a torch, and then a hacksaw for cutting the PVC. Parts needed for this build will be a plastic PVC 1/2 inch threaded adapter coupling. This goes into 1/2 inch standard slip coupling. Doesn't matter what because you only need the threaded part. You'll cut the other part off. A 5 inch length piece of 1 inch Schedule 40 PVC. Electrical tape, I'll be using fabric electrical tape because it's thicker. And a 5 inch piece of 1/2 inch plastic conduit, along with this polyester fiber fill that works for suppressing the sound. Alright, so to start off, you'll want to take your 1 inch PVC pipe and you'll want to cut it down to 5 inches with an inner diameter of 1 inch. And then you'll take your knife and you will deburr the inside of where you cut. This just makes a cleaner look, and it ends up keeping the fiber fill from getting stuck to the outside and inside. And that's all you'll need the knife for. So now you will want to take your PVC coupling, and you'll want to take a flat 5. You'll want to work on filing down the edges to a cone, and so that it just fits in here. And now you want to take your well, let me back up. You want to make this into a cone shape so that when it fits on here, the end of it just barely fits in here. And now you want to take your pipe, your 1/2 inch diameter, which is inner diameter by the way, 5 inch length piece of PVC conduit, and you'll want to screw it into the threaded side of whichever side you filed down into a cone shape. You want that handle tight so it doesn't come undone. And now you'll take your hacksaw again and you'll cut right off, right at the end. In this case it's a band, so you'll cut right there. Now that I've cut it, I will take the knife again and I will trim up the burrs. Don't forget the inside. And now it's all nice and clean. So next, you will want to take your electrical tape. In this case, I said I'm using fabric tape because it's thicker and builds up faster, and plus, it's not as sticky, so I just prefer it. And you'll put one strip about halfway from the tube. Sorry, this stuff's not as sticky like I said, so it does come undone for the first wrap. And you'll build it up enough till it just fits on the inside of the pipe. Now, it won't be as thick as the PVC coupling because the coupling will be expanding inside the pipe. So let's see if that fits. Nope, I need a few more layers. Probably just 1 or 2 wraps on here to finish that. And that is a snug fit, no wobble. So now you'll take your tape again and you'll wrap the very end of the pipe. And basically by doing this, you're allowing this inner tube, which will fit, this is the inner tube, this will fit inside here. And you're creating a baffle system, which you'll later drill holes in here and fill the space with polyester fiber fill. So I'll wrap this. Once again, this will be about the same size as the other black tape wrap, and this will be snug inside the pipe. Couple more wraps because that was loose again. It's actually a little too snug, so I'm going to loosen that up by cutting off a little bit more. That's perfect. Alright, now you'll take my drill bit case, you'll take a 3/32 drill bit, and you'll drill a whole bunch of holes along here and here, but not through the tape or the end of the PVC. And the reason for this is you're creating the baffle chamber, allowing the gases to go in here. This won't work for spring guns. It may, I haven't tried it, but it won't, most likely because you're not using an expanded gas. But you'll drill a whole bunch of holes along here. There's no precise amount, no precise measurement. That's it. I'll get to that and I'll come back with the holes drilled. As you can see, I've drilled a whole bunch of holes in here. There's no random pattern, and you can see there's burrs inside. So the rounded file comes in handy because you'll take your file, you'll go in here, and you'll just go all the way around the pipe. And basically you're not trying to file it down or anything, you're just trying to get the burrs out. So this will break off the burrs. And I see it's really clean inside. And the holes are still open. So that's it for this part. And you're done with your files. I believe so, actually. I can't remember how I did this before. I'll probably come up with another use. And now you'll take this pipe, and you'll want this. Take this and start inserting this in through here. And now just go see a little bit of opening. Take your small screwdriver and your polyester fill. Take your screwdriver and just put a good amount in here all the way around. And you'll try not to pack it in so tight, so you'll want this as far down as possible so that you get the most in without packing it too tight. Because you don't want it to be solid, because therefore it'll lose all of its noise dampening capabilities. But you also don't want it to be too loose, because then it won't have much noise dampening capability. Now you don't have to use the fiber fill. It still works without it, but I just found that it works way better with it. Because it's basically a filling, and the filling helps trap the sound waves and therefore dampens the sound. And now you'll just, when it's filled, you'll take and just push it down and work on the next chamber down this. And you'll just keep doing this with this chamber too. So you'll just fill this with fiber fill now. I actually have to loosen this a little bit so I can actually get more down, because the PVC ring is a little fatter than the tape, so it's hard to get around it. Push it down a little more, just so I'm not packing it in too hard. And the filling you use actually has to be loose, because you can't really push in like a fabric sheet of this stuff, which a fiber fill, it's not really a fiber fill if it's plastic fill, if it's a sheet of it, but it's still like a batting that works as noise dampening, but it won't work because you can't stuff it in. You'll end up having to wrap it, and it doesn't have as much noise dampening capability. See, if you get a little extra that's pushed in, just take a knife and cut it off. And this is very important because you'll be using an open flame and you don't want to catch this stuff on fire. So now push this down until this is seated in place. And you're done with your knife and your filling. And pretty much everything else, your hacksaw, that can go away, your tape can go away, and your small screwdriver can go away. Along with your files, because now you won't need it anymore. Now you'll need the hammer, that rubber mallet, or the hammer, and you'll need your torch. So what I do is I take the torch, light it, and then I'll lock it on, and then I'll just turn it into an open flame, which isn't as much torch as the torch, there's an open flame. And then I'll just heat the end of it. I don't want to burn it, just want to heat the end of it enough that it's flexible, pliable, whatever you want to call it. And you'll see it start to turn yellow. See, it's turning a little yellow. That's it heating up. That will stay permanently yellow, but it'll need to be that. So it's getting pliable. And it's burning a little bit, so I'll move it away from the flame. And now I'm done with this. Take your hammer, and then seat that PVC ring into your PVC tube. Now, if you wanted to cool it down, it's actually really hot right now. It's not melted, dripping melted, but it's pliable still. And the best way to cool it down and make sure it's not going to melt or like push this part out, just go run it under cold water like I'm about to do, and it'll shrink down, hold this tight, and then you can finish the work that I'll be showing you next.